Heidi ho neighbors, Rado Goji here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Red version. When we last left off, we did some stuff up on Route 25. We're finished doing whatever business we had there, and now we're moved on to the Cerulean City Pokemon Gym. Leader Misty, winning trainer's Lenny, because Lenny's a jerk. Lester's pretty much in a position where he's going to just wipe the floor of the gym. At least that's what I hope. I really don't have a lot of backups going on here, so let's just fight. I think there's like 2 trainers before the gym leader. Swimmer wants to fight. Swimmer sent out Horsey. Horsey is just standard water type. Most of the ones we're going to be seeing here are standard water types. In fact, I don't think that there are a lot of dual type water Pokemon. I think the only ones I can think of are maybe 4 of them. 2 of them are like second type Ice. The other 2 are second type Psychic. But no, the other 3 are second. There's 5 I can think of now. That's Shelder. He's like a clam. Withdraw is a defensive move. Makes his defense go up, but that's not going to help against special type moves at all. Not that it would have helped him much anyway. He was like at like 3 hit points or something. I'm pretty sure that's a good measurement for 3 hit points at this level. She won't lose to someone like you. Like, oh, okay. I'd like you to tell that my Pikachu that. I'm more than good enough for you. Misty can wait. Oh, okay. You're gonna be a jerk about it. Junior trainer female wants to fight. She's got a Goldeen. Another plain Jane vanilla water Pokemon. There are so many water Pokemon in the game, it's really hard to differentiate a lot of them. Oh dear, this might turn it around, actually. Confusion. That's always fun. I lied. Oh, never mind, we got it. Luckily, neither of Misty's Pokemon have that, as far as I can remember. Level 20, that's like a perfect level to go after the gym leader. Especially when that Pokemon has an advantage. Let's just talk to her again. You have to face other trainers to find out how good you really are. Well, I'm doing fairly well so far, so... Hi, you're a new face. Trainers who want to turn pro have to have a policy about Pokemon. What is your approach when you catch Pokemon? My policy is an all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon. Okay. Okay, so she's got Staryu. Staryu is basically just a water type. The thing with Staryu, though, is that it can, especially with its evolved form, which we're going to see in a bit, they can learn some pretty surprising move combinations. Like, they can learn, like, electric-type moves, and... I mean, most Pokemon can learn ice-type moves, and, Starmie, which is the, one we're about to see here, is actually... Well, we don't want to switch. Is actually, dual-type with Psychic. So it'll learn Psychic-type moves, and I'm fairly sure it'll learn, I mean, most water types learn ice type moves, so it can learn things like Ice Beam, but it can also learn Thunder. I like how the first thing she did was use an X Defend, even though we're using a special type moves on them. So yeah, it's not going to work very well. Oh yeah, we got this in the bag. And she didn't even get to use their signature attack, which we will get in a TM, and then we will actually use this TM because it's a very useful move for this level. Well, that was easy. Wow, you're too much. Alright, you can have the Cascade Badge show that you beat me. Why, thank you, and thank you for all that money. Cascade Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. Basically, if you get traded Pokemon, yeah, that includes even outsiders, there's more you can do cut at any time. You can cut down small bushes to open new paths. You can also have my favorite TM. TM11, which is Bubble Beam. Using an aquatic Pokemon. Bubble Beam is basically an advanced form of Bubble. It does a little more damage and still has the chance to lower speed. We're going to teach that to Floofers pretty much right away. Make room for Bubble Beam? Yes. Bubble. Should probably get rid of Water Gun eventually, too, because I try not to have more than one of the same type attack move, because that's just a waste of space. But then again, we're just basically doing a straight playthrough and not doing any competition stuff with other people playing the game. We make a pretty darn good team, I guess. Only the gym leaders will have any moves that basically are outside of their move list. Most other Pokemon trainers, if they have a Pokemon, they will at any particular level, they will have whatever moves they have at that level, like the last 4 moves they would have learned. I'm sure it does get a little more diverse as generations go by, but for the most part, like the first few generations, it's basically like if you see this Pokemon at this level, it will have the last 4 moves that it would have learned, with the exception of gym leaders. This house was blocked off before. I don't know if we showed that off. If people here were robbed, it's obvious that Team Rocket is behind this most heinous crime. Even our police force has trouble with their rockets. We can go in here now, because this is the only way out of the city. Other than north, I guess, but you're trying to dig their way into no good. Ah ha 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 ha, not funny. Those miserable rockets, look what they did here. They stole a TM for teaching Pokemon how to dig holes. That would cost me a bundle, it did. And the dig TM is going to be something that we want. And here's a Team Rocket guy. Hey, stay out, it's not your yard. Me? I'm an innocent bystander, don't you believe me? I'm going to attack you now. I guess it's insinuated that our character said no. He wants to fight. He's got him a chop. So we're going to take Harold out for this one, because Harold is a flying type. Machop is a fighting type Pokemon. I don't know if you've seen that yet. May have not. I don't know. Like I said, there was that kind of a gap in between parts, and I don't remember exactly what we've seen and what we haven't. I don't think we've seen Machop yet, though. Yeah, it would do that. You know, I want this thing to have experience. Well, then it's not going to get experience. Sorry. We'll use our new Bubble Beam. That's all she wrote about that. Captain Floofer's gained a level to keep ahead of the Pikachu. Okay, Drowsy is a Pokemon we haven't seen yet. It's basically a Psychic-type Pokemon that focuses on sleep attacks, like Hypnosis. Basically, try to put you to sleep, Confusion. It's kind of one of those status effect Pokemon, but it's mostly about sleep. Oh, he did get confused. I forgot, in Generation 1 it only just says you get confused. It doesn't really show much of an animation showing that when you get confused. Well, but that's okay. Stop, I give up. I'll leave quietly. Give me the TM. Okay, I'll return the TM I stole. TM28 teaches Dig. It is a ground type move that, even try to get it back. I figure what's lost is lost. I just had to teach Diglett how to dig without a TM. Diglett's a ground type Pokemon we'll be seeing later anyway. Dig is a move that basically it does ground damage. But it basically takes 2 turns to pull off. The first turn actually has you digging into the ground, and then I don't remember how it is in Generation 1, but I don't think they can hit you unless they use Swift. Maybe Earthquake. I know in like starting with Generation 2, if you're in the ground and they hit you with Earthquake, it actually does double damage to you. But I think in Generation 1, the only thing that can hit you when you're in the ground is Swift, which can't miss no matter what. But then it basically does damage the second turn. So be careful if you're. It's a good move to have, I guess, at this stage in the game, but just be careful because they can use that extra turn to do stuff. Let's see if Geodude can learn Dig. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to see. We're going to need this, basically for the third gym. We'll get rid of... We'll get rid of Seismic Toss. It's kind of a rubbish move. We're only level 16. Seismic Toss is only going to do 16 damage. Okay, actually I'm going to go ahead and put some other Pokemon out in front so they can get some experience. Because Harold and Lester are... Not Harold and Lester, Harold and Dudley are 5 levels behind Lester. And I don't want my levels to be too far apart. Now, if we wanted to, we could talk to this guy here. And he's a daycare guy. We can give him one of our Pokemon, and basically, the longer we're out walking around, the more experience they'll get. And then they'll basically level up. The downside is you don't have any control over any of the moves that they learn. So normally, if you have a moveset you're happy with, and they try to learn a new move, you can just say, no, I don't want to learn that move. But if they're in the daycare, they'll just learn the new move automatically and overwrite one of the moves you already have. That's an underground path. I'll show you why we're going to take that in a second. If we try to cut down through Saffron City here, the road's closed, and we can't get through because the guard is thirsty. What a selfish prick. So we'll have to give him something to drink, because otherwise we're not going to be able to get into Saffron City at all. Not that we're going to be going there until later anyway, but yeah. Do you have a Nidoran male? Want to trade from Nidoran female? No. That's too bad. Yeah, kinda. We can't find Nidoran female really in this version. Now the underground path here actually has some hidden items. If we had an item finder, we could basically see like more or less be pointed in the direction of where they are. But you don't have to have the item finder to find the items. You can just, like, you know, walk around like what I'm doing here. Because I'm just mashing the A button as I walk. And if there are any hidden items on the ground, you'll just pick them up. So sometimes on the underground paths, I like to do this, just to get any hidden items that there may be. Because I don't use the item finder much in this game. It's not really a convenient thing to have. Unless you want to keep using unless you want to keep using the item finder over and over again. And until Generation 2, there really isn't a convenient way to do that. Starting with Generation 2, as we'll see when we get to Gold and Silver, or Gold more particularly, you'll often lose things in the underground path. Well, I didn't lose anything today. You can basically equip key items to the select button, and then just use the select button. But here, in order to use items, we would just have to push start, go into the item menu, basically select whatever item, and then it would basically back out to this when the item's being used, and then you'd have to go into the menu again. So it makes stuff like fishing and item finding extremely tedious. So that's why I'm not going to bother much with the item finder in this game. Just check and see if there are any items. There aren't. I would have checked my strategy guide beforehand, but it's on the shelf. So we're on Route 6 now. I think the route that the space that the daycare guy was on was Route 5. We're on Route 6 now, and there are trainers here. So let's have fights with trainers. There aren't many bugs out here. He's a bug catcher, so it's a good thing we have Harold out front, because Harold needs some XPs. Oh, same level. Why don't you evolve your Weedle? There's no point in not evolving that Weedle, you silly, silly man. Or, I guess, boy. I don't know. I mean, there was like one bug catcher boasting on how quickly bug Pokemon can evolve, and half of them don't evolve their bug Pokemon. I'm like, what the... At level 10, Weedle and Caterpie are at their... He's probably gonna have like a level 16 Caterpie now. Yep. Weedle and Caterpie can reach their final forms at level 10. There is no reason for them to be in this state. And even if you evolve your Kakuna or your Metapod, Well, I guess it really wouldn't work since he's a computer player, and they would just have Harden. But like I said before, if you have a Caterpie and it knows Tackle and String Shot, and you evolve it into a Metapod, the Metapod will learn Harden, but it will still have Tackle and String Shot. It's only if you find Metapods and Kakunas on computer-controlled Pokemon trainers, or in the wild, that they will only have Harden. Come on, Harold. Harold is staving off this poison like a beast. And that should do it for this video. Because we're going in the 16-minute category. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I can't go that high, but I try not to. I like bugs, so I'm going back to Viridian Forest. And you should probably evolve the bugs that you have. Okay, so I'm going to cut the video off here. And when we come back, we're going to fight these people. I've been Rado Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?